Hello and welcome to Scarlet Night News. I'm your host, Annabelle Caraballo, and tonight our show is jam-packed with all the latest and greatest news from the Rutgers campuses. Rutgers University has hundreds of organizations and clubs to fit the interests and needs of every student. For first-year students, finding an organization that feels like home can be hard, but the Chinese Christian Fellowship has faith that they are the support system you need.
RBSG stands for Rutgers Bible Study Group, and it's a on-campus student organized group, and it is a Christian-based group, so it's considered as a religious group. But our aim and goal is to help all the students, especially those who came from mainland China, to help them, to support them and give them spiritual support, encouragement, and guidance, and also introduce them our faith.
I have been in America for roughly a year, and I have been a member in RBSG ever since I came here. We do have regular meetings on every Friday.
We do eating, and we do singing, and also Bible study. Bible study is a big part of it.
And we do provide other activities. For example, social activities that we just finished a 100 people mountain hiking outings about 3 weeks ago, which was quite a success.
RBSG has been in, the group has been formed since a long time ago. I would say probably 35 years now. Throughout the 35 years, there's been a lot of changes. And for the last, I would say 5 years, majority of the people in this group are undergrads. So as you can see, people from China, they came to here, to US to study, particularly Rutgers campus. The age of people came here has been fairly decreasing, and number of that is a lot. So that's the recent change.
I would say limitations, number one is the language. That I grew up in a country where everybody speaks Chinese. Although we receive formal English education, it is different when you try to express yourself in here. And I do think that a lot of my students, my coworkers that from China, they have tremendous, brilliant skills in their academic field, but they do not have adequate English expression to go along with it. That's why a lot of us feel limited in this society. And besides that, I do think there's another thing that I want to mention. As international students, sometimes I do feel like I'm a foreigner. And that's true, I am a foreigner. And that mindset, actually, I think it hinders me and some of my friends from really trying to get into this society and trying to get some opportunities.
I believe RBSG has been helping people greatly. I think the faith they received here, many of them came here as non-believers, and then through learning about the Bible, learning about God, they realize God is something they want to pursue and to get to know of. So I think that changed their lives, and that's how when they go on to the next stages in their life, as in a career per se, they know how to handle the stress better, and that of course fit into the American culture. They learn to associate with other people, especially different race, with Christ's love, with love and acceptance. I think that doesn't come naturally. I think a lot of them, with this new faith, they found that.
I love this group because it actually provides me a sense of belonging. And that being said, that I do not have the disorientation that I once had when I first came here. Because of God and also this group. And that sense of security actually ground my academic research and also my personal life as well.
Today, I still see the impact. I'm happy and I'm very grateful to see the changes in people's lives and the change that they have exhibited. I'm sure it will carry on to them, and I'm sure it will help them to be better in their life.
The Chinese Christian Fellowship is truly a sanctuary for students, but some Rutgers students feel there's more to be done. After a tumultuous presidential election and Republican candidate Donald Trump being elected our new president, students at Rutgers are fighting to make their school into a sanctuary campus, a college or university in the United States that adopts policies to protect students who are undocumented immigrants. Hundreds of students gathered at Voorhees Mall as a part of a walkout for a #sanctuary campus. Let's check it out.
I'm so thankful to see a whole college campus that is ready to do that kind of thing to keep families from being torn apart. I want to say to you today, march peacefully, but march angry too. This rally, the fact that you need to have this rally in the United States of America is outrageous. The fact that we have to stand here and say that some people shouldn't have their family ripped apart, that's outrageous. The fact that LGBT people, that's outrageous. Come on now. We can't be peaceful. Peaceful doesn't mean not angry. We ought to be outraged at what's happened in this country. So I'm thankful to see Rutgers students standing up to say it's time. It's time to say that we've got to stand with those who are last all the time. Let's go for it now. Were to be implemented today, millions of workers across the country would lose their jobs. Many immigrant families will fall into an economic instability, and we're asking for Rutgers to also say that they're not going to enroll into the E-Verify program, and they're going to protect immigrant workers. Does that sound right to you?
I think that it's really important for us to have a march because it shows solidarity, even if we aren't necessarily part of the groups that Trump has personally victimized. Myself, I'm in a pretty good place socially. I'm a middle-class white woman, but I want to show that that's not okay for anybody, and that there's support from all different demographics.
I heard there was a demonstration here, so I wanted to see what was going on. And I took some pictures of the signs and saw the kind of people here. I just wanted to see what was going on.
Just being against ignorance, that's a part of being directed towards immigrants and stuff like that. Not only immigrants but women and also black people, minorities altogether. For myself, I think it's just the fact that he's just a horrible person who just shouldn't be in such a high position, especially with everything he said that's so disrespectful towards women, towards immigrants, towards everybody. I just think there should be more people out here just trying to just be against ignorance.
Sexist, anti-gay, Donald Trump, go away. Racist, sexist, anti-gay, Donald Trump.
I'm an Italian American. My parents came from Italy, and Christopher Columbus did find our nation. He's an Italian American as well, so he did find our nation. And to be an immigrant outside of the United States and coming here, it's a blessing, And we always want to find the American dream, and that's what it's about. And Trump's taking that away from us, so I think it's not right, We should have the freedom that everybody should be in the United States.
I think that I want to spend the next 4 years reminding him that most of the country didn't vote for him, and that the popular vote is against him, and that most people do not support his presidency or the ideals he stands for.
We are the popular vote! We are the popular vote!
Well, it's important for students to take part in these kinds of demonstrations because it's first the practice of congregating and talking about certain issues and getting a voice heard out and stuff like that. Freedom of speech, basically. So if Trump were to come in and try to silence these, then that would show that he's not good to the principles of America on his part. So it's a demonstration of free speech. So we should be able to do it.
to make a statement, just to get on the news, to get publicity, because the more people, it's not one person's going to do it. You got to get the communities in it, and this is huge. Not just Rutgers is doing this. You got other schools like Rutgers and Camden. You got other schools doing this as well. The voice has to be heard, and people got to hear this, and they just have to get all together and join as a group and a family. And doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Latino, Italian, German. Doesn't matter where you come from, but as long as everybody sticks together and sticks what they got to do, then things are going to change, and that's the real dream.
I wanted to make sure that people know that just because he was elected president, that his ideals are not normalized or acceptable in any way. That I know that there's been a lot of like newly visible hate crimes, even around Rutgers, and mobilizing for a big march and protest like this shows that we're not going to accept that kind of behavior.
My expectations for Trump's presidency, I say give him a chance. Like maybe he's just playing the crowd so we can get into the position. Like you don't exactly know what he's going to do. So plus he was democratically elected by the law, so just give him a chance. And if anything, if he does anything, he'd be impeached and they can take him out of office. If anything.
I'm hoping maybe Clinton will become president. Maybe he'll just go away or something. Or I don't know. Like you would hope that maybe he would change, but you can't change. Sometimes you can't change ignorance. You know.
My body, my choice. Her body, her choice. My body, my choice. Her body, her choice.
Equality of women has been horrible. You know, they should get equal pay just like men, because they do work their butts off. For example, there's an alumni here. Her name's Carly Lloyd. She won the World Cup of the United States, and she gets paid less than men. That the men didn't win at all, which that's not right. And this is frustrating me. And it's just like men should be treated just like women. Everybody should be treated equal. Doesn't matter if you're whatever nationality you are, whatever gender you are. Everybody should be treated equal, and everybody should have the same rights.
But all we want is for him to say in 3 words that Rutgers is a century campus. Yeah! That's what we are pushing for.
Politically and legally, it would be a place where people who are undocumented are not at risk of being deported or hunted down by any kind of law enforcement that specifically is tasked on them. It's also a place where there's no threat of any kind of registration based on your ethnic or religious background in any way. That everybody is free to enjoy the same kind of privileges and safety that people who are not specifically being targeted enjoy.
To me, I really don't think safe spaces are necessary because this is like a public place and there's no rule. Well, there is a rule like freedom from speech. But yeah, if you don't like what someone's saying, you don't have to go to their rally or anything like that. You can always go inside, go somewhere, study somewhere else.
Open space, everybody's open, freedom to their religion, to their thoughts, to who they want to be and who they portray to everybody else and everything like that. Being able to just not live in fear for being who you are religiously, personality-wise or sexual orientation-wise, your color of your skin, there shouldn't be an issue in a place that's supposed to be so diverse and open to everybody.
On a lighter note, there is one thing Rutgers students can all agree on, and that's how great fat sandwiches are. The home of the original fat sandwich has gone stationary. In addition to their famous food truck, Are You Hungry now has their very own restaurant at the Yard, giving students a place to sit and enjoy their food. Scarlet Night News correspondent Kim Obi talks to a very excited Ayman Elnaggar, the man who started it all.
My name is Kimberly Obi, and I'm reporting today on Are You Hungry with the owner. So can you start by telling us your name and your occupation?
Sure, hi. My name is Ayman Elnaggar. I'm the owner of Are You Hungry? 1996, I always wanted to have my own business. I worked in food business in 1988 at Manhattan, in different delis and stuff, okay? And then by 1995 to 99, I wanted to have my own business. And I've been looking all over in Manhattan for that. But then a friend of mine, he told me about an opportunity in New Brunswick, food truck. So when I came in here and I looked at it, I really loved it. And I knew there is opportunity. And the minute I came to New Brunswick, I love the customers, I love the students. They never give you a hard time. and you always feel young with their energy. So I really loved the environment, loved everything here. So I said, this is my place, this is my future. And that's how I bought Are You Hungry?
That's awesome. Where did you get the idea for fat sandwiches for Are You Hungry?
It was amazing for me when I realized after working in 7 years in food business that there is people put fries in the sandwich. And I told the previous owner, this is crazy, man. How you do that? And then I changed my whole opinion from the first bite. I remember till now. I ate a Fat Sam. And since that day till now, which almost 20 years, I always put a little bit of fries on everything. That's the way I like it.
Can you tell us about your education related to restaurant management and culinary, what you liked and what you disliked about it?
I have a civil engineering degree from Egypt. I came from Egypt, forgot to tell you that, in '88. For opportunity and for a better life, just like anybody else. I love to work with people. I love to be around with people. I love to work for myself. I don't want to work for anybody else. And that's how I never studied anything about the food. As a matter of fact, at the beginning, I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to make any sandwich, but I learned.
But like that's amazing because you have so many customers that always come into your restaurant. So can you just tell us what your secret is?
The secret is passion and love. This is what it is. I make everything with passion and love, and I excel in what I do. So over the years, I learned a lot of things from working in different places. When I was in the city, at that time, it used to be a lot of people. It's a lot of business in the 80s. And I worked in all delis. So I learned a lot in food. I started, firsthand dealing with food, fast food, quick, fast service. And I learned that. And that's why when I came to the trucks, I managed to implement what I learned in the nice restaurants I work and the food trucks. So I enhanced a lot of things. Again, if you love what you do, you're gonna excel in what you do, and you'll learn a lot about it and you'll be good at it.
Right, that's very, very true. What would you say is some of your most successful promotions and where did they originate from?
I never did any promotion. It was all about, if you back in the days, you'll know how did we run business. We used to be 8 trucks, 4 trucks at night, 4 trucks in the day shift. That's when I came, 1997. So in 1997, they had a contract between them, agreement to sell the same exact stuff for the same exact money. So what made a major role in my success is my personality. So I put my personality and passion into the food. And that's how it became very successful.
Oh my God, you've worked in all areas of food business, from having your own food truck to owning a restaurant, this amazing restaurant. So what are some insights that you can share about the differences and the difficulties in having your own store and doing sandwiches, having other similar sandwich restaurants closer to you?
Love challenges. I love competition. This is the way I am. That's it, okay? The trailer was a major step in my life. Trailer came in 2003 after I graduated from DeVry. And this is crazy. I mean, you go to college to change your career and you end up being more deep in your business. I love it. I just love it, And what happened with the trailer, it was a big step. And sadly, I'm the only one left from the 8 trucks. I'm the most famous one. But that's the way I am.
How do you feel like being the most famous one and the...
Very proud.
Is it something that makes you very happy?
I would never forget my feeling when I was sitting next to my family and my daughter's getting closer to me because the live camera shot was coming on us. Everybody in Madison Square Garden was seeing it in the big screen, and believe it or not, it was my birthday. I would never forget that. It was November 22nd, 2014. They chose me a New Jersey food ambassador. I was so proud. I remember the first day I came to the country, just hearing about Madison Square Garden, just passing by Madison Square Garden, I was like, wow, Madison Square, look at this, guys, oh my God. But seeing yourself in there in the arena, that's completely different feelings. So it's just unbelievable. And I also cater for the Super Bowl. They invite me to cater for the same year. And that year was a lot of difficulties because they kicked me out in August 2013. That was so hard. It was so hard trying to move this big trailer, big generator, making it mobile. It was a lot of challenges. But in this, I learned a lot. I didn't know that step 3 years ago, it was preparing me for this step. I always like to be the best at what I do. I'll be a garbage guy, I'll be the best at the garbage guy, and watch out because I'll own the company. You watch out for me. I'm dangerous, okay?
What would you say is your favorite meal here? Like, what would you say is the one thing that when you come in, you have to have?
I love the chicken fat cat, and I love Eric LeGrand. I love the person. He's a very close friend of mine. I named the sandwich after him. You know, number 52. Great guy. Always, he inspires a lot of people, and I'm one of them. The dedication, the determination, and the faith he has is unbelievable, and we share that.
So what would you say are your future plans for the restaurant? And just Are You Hungry as a whole
In
business?
2004, when they interviewed me in Your Morning America, okay, about when my sandwich hit #1 sandwich in the country by Maxim magazine. Oh, wow. I was there and say, guy, what's your vision? And I told him I want to be globally. Same thing. I waited 12 years from 2004 to 2016 to see my dream coming true. This is my dream. And I've been working so hard to see this. And my vision now is to fill this place with people. And I'm 100% sure once they know we're in soft opening, half of the menu is not in effect. I hurried up and I had to open because I had to open, okay? So we opened, soft opening. We planning for the grand opening, and I think we're going to do a great success. I don't think you're going to have the opportunity to film again in this store.
It's going to be impossible.
It'll be impossible.
Thank you. What advice can you give to those who would like to open a restaurant of their own someday, and how do you think they can get from point A to point B? Like, for example, like thinking about an education, let's say if they decided to study culinary in university, maybe they do not decide like you did. How do you think they can get from that to being their own restaurant owner and being the top from Maxim?
This is a great question, okay?
Yeah.
You ask very good questions. I
you.
admire questions. I think you have to try first. If you decide before you go into anything, you have to start an internship very early. Don't wait to be a senior. Don't wait to be a junior, sophomore, freshman. Go. See what you like to do for the next 5 years or 10 years. You know, nowadays, you got to change your career. But it's about, okay, to have your own business, it's a lot of work. It's determination. You're not going to give up. Okay? It's like in movies. I'm living it. When they kicked me out of here, right? And I used to do a lot of business. You can look at my wall. A lot of business, okay? All of a sudden, Friday morning, they put me at Nickel Avenue. It took people time to find, they thought that we gone for good. I would never forget that every day I have to move the trailer when it was raining, and I never drove a trailer before. It was a big challenge. I learned. But they have to have the passion. They have to have the determination. And there's no way to give up. If you go to Rutgers, that means you're a good student. They don't accept anybody.
Thank you very much for joining us today. It was very nice talking to you and learning about your business. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope we have an interview sometime again.
Please.
Thank you very much,
Anytime. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Wow, the place looks absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to enjoy a fat sandwich while relaxing on one of the original Are You Hungry benches. Well, that's all for tonight's show. Please be sure to let us know if you enjoyed this episode by tweeting us at Scarlet Night TV. I'm Annabelle Caraballo, and I'll see you next time.